Alright everybody, welcome back to Low Life Plays. Got my hands on this Modern Horizons 3 play box after going to a pre-release. Having some fun there, got some nice pulls. So I thought I would share some of the fun and bring it back with you. So before I jump into this, just please remember, hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down below. But before, I've been holding off, so let's just jump into this bad boy. Oh yeah. Woo, baby. And then we'll pop that open. Oh, yeah. Nice. Set this aside here. All right, let's get into it. Got a zombie token. Ooh, got some Fetid Gargantua. This guy was super good in limited. Amphibian Downpour, flash, enchant creature lose all abilities, and it's a blue frog. That seems fun. Put that over here in our rares. Distinguished Conjurer. That one's a really nice one. Ooh, one of these dual-face land creature cards. Snow-Covered Wastes. Waterscape Battle Mage. Kicker. When you cast a spell, if it was kicked... When you cast a spell, if it was kicked with blue, so you can bounce a creature, and then you can exile an artifact or enchantment. That seems pretty sick. Reiterating Bolt. Did these tri-land things? These are nuts. These are so good. Those were so good. Allows you to play like 3 colors. This was pretty decent. I really like the new colored Eldrazi. This guy was absolutely bonkers. When you pull this thing and going into a sealed environment, crazy, crazy. All right, let's hop into this next one. Got that. Land. Tempest Harvester. Ooh, Winter Moon. This guy's pretty crazy. Players can't untap more than 1 non-basic land during their untap steps. That's pretty nuts. Ooh, and Lelia. Lelia is a reprint. Lelia is super nice. Just a classic reprint from the set. Witch Enchanter. This is one of the double-sided land cards. Enters battlefield, destroy target artifact or enchantment. That's always nice. Some nice enchantment removal, but an MDFC version. That's pretty cool. Glyph Elemental. The bestow stuff is pretty nuts in the set. Ooh, let me see if I can. Yeah, whenever a land enters battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Glyph Elemental. And then it gets +1/+1s based on it. It's pretty nuts. Pretty crazy stuff. And then Wumpus Aberration. This guy. These Eldrazi beasts. If you cast a spell, if colorless wasn't spent to cast it, target opponent may put a creature card from their hand onto the battlefield. Okay. But it's a 4-cost 6/6, and if you're running like Eldrazi, you're probably going to have colorless mana anyway. Foul Strike. Conduit Goblin. Thraben Charm. That one's a nice one. Ooh, Ether Spike. I liked that. That was a fun card. Petrifying Meddler. When you cast a spell, tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it. And it has reach. That's pretty nice. And then our foil is Tempest Harvester. When it enters play, you get 2 energy. You can pay energy to draw a card, then discard a card. I like all the energy support that came out in this set. That's pretty nice. Energy has been lacking, so it's cool that they're getting what they need. Ooh, let's throw that over there. Ooh. Oh, baby, Polluted Delta Foil. Whoo. That's some nice stuff. And then we got Sorin of House Markov. Gotta love this guy. I think he's the dual-sided Planeswalker, yeah? Yes. He has Lifelink Extort at the beginning of your post-combat main phase. If you gain 3 or more life this turn, exile Sorin, then return him to the battlefield. That's a very easy flip. into an extorting planeswalker that makes food. And I know his -1 is pretty insane, right? Deals damage equal to the amount of life you gain this turn to any target. Yeah, that guy's nuts. Junk Diver, super happy to see this guy. Junk Diver is just super valuable in a lot of different areas. Ooh, Ulatek. He's the 5-color commander for the Eldrazi precon. So whenever you cast an Eldrazi spell, you can pay 2. If you do, copy all spells you control, and then copy all activated and triggered abilities. You can choose new copies. This is a banger. This is a banger of a pack. Undo Not Master. Lifelink, when another modified creature you control dies, put 2 counters on him and you can distribute counters. That's pretty cool. Lethal Throwdown. As you sack a creature or a modified creature, destroy target creature or planeswalker. If it was modified, sack. Oh, draw a card. That's cool. Gift of the Viper. Really fun combat trick. Just give Death Touch counter and a reach counter. Thinking about putting this into my modified Dinosaurs deck. I think that'd be super fun. So definitely finds a home there. Wing It, super valuable in limited formats. Super nice stuff. I had a lot of quote-unquote fun fighting a lot of Selesnya modified decks. That and the Eldrazi stuff seemed to be pretty good. I went with, at the pre-release, I went with Ramp Eldrazi, which it did pretty good. I pulled Mommy Emrakul, so it was pretty fun. My overall goal was just to cast Mommy Emrakul, and I did it. And it was glorious. It was a glorious, glorious time. Got a Servo token here. Ooh, got our Foily Mountains. Love those. Foil Galvanic Discharge. That's nice. Ooh, the Flare. I mean, it's the black Flare, so, like, you know. But we take what we get. Each opponent sacks a creature or planeswalker with the greatest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control. I like that it's each opponent, so it's still good. It's still a good rare. Right, Meteoric Mace. I know this one's pretty fun just because it has Cascade, which is cool. Devourer of Truth. This one's cool because it's an Eldrazi and it's a dual land, so that's pretty cool. And it also has the ability of when you cast, if you spent colorless mana, make 2 Scions. That's pretty cool. That's some nice stuff. There's some powerful uncommons and commons in any of the Modern Horizon sets, but this one stays true to that. So, Etched Slith. Menace, 2 costing 1/1. When it deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When you do, you remove a counter from another target permanent. Ooh, Bespoke Battle Wagon. I love the art on Bespoke Battle Wagon. It looks so janky and fun and cool. And then it has a lot of, it makes a lot of energy, has a lot of energy payoffs. Really good in an energy deck. Has flying as long as it's modified, and it has Persist. That's a nice guy. Dude, this is an all-star. Loved this card. Super fun. Malevolent Rumble. This is a good one. Just, reveal the top 4, put a permanent in your hand, rest in the graveyard. So it fills your graveyard, makes a token, and is card draw. I really like that card. Inventor's Axe. Flash, ETB, get energy, attach it to a target creature, and then you can, so you could pay, it equips itself, and then it also gives you the energy to equip it to another thing. That's kind of fun. I like this guy. He's a rampy boy, makes colorless, and then some decent removal. Breathe your last breath. Flare of Malice. Alright, jumping into some more packs. Here we go, baby. Loving the set so far. Whoop. Oh, check out the Gremlin. Love that. That's super nice. And it's an energy on the back. That's cool. Serum Visionary. Classic, just draw a card. This one is super fun. I liked this as removal. Instant speed, it's devoid. Exile target non-land permanent, and then you can cast that card as long as it's exiled, and you can spend colorless mana as though it were mana of any color. Really nice little removal. Love the reprint of Buried Alive. Super, super good. Ooh, Bridgework Battle. Another fight spell. So, any of those fight decks out there, Thin, any of that kind of stuff. Super fun for that one. Monstrous Vortex, when you cast a creature spell with power 5 or greater, discover X. Oh, that's pretty nice for 4. That's a good one. Guardian of the Forgotten. Whenever a modified creature you control dies, manifest. That can be neat. Pyretic Rebirth is pretty interesting. Return target artifact or creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Then it deals damage equal to the card's mana value. That could be pretty fun, especially in Rakdos. I know there's a lot of, especially in Commander, there's like a Rakdos Eldrazi deck. That could be a pretty fun card for this, and you could just, recursion and removal. Love these. Writhing Chrysalis. Jolted Awake. Choose up to one target artifact or creature in your graveyard. You gain 2 energy. Then you may pay the amount of energy equal to its mana value. Return it to the battlefield. That's pretty cool. Shattered Landscape. Loved it. Glimpse the Impossible. Look at all that text. It's like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Corrupted Shapeshifter. Ooh, an Eldrazi Shapeshifter. Enters the battlefield and becomes your choice of a 3/3 creature with flying, a 2/5 creature with vigilance, or a 0/12 creature with defender. Boom! Arcades! I mean, that could be a pretty good card for that. That's funny. That's super funny. No super big hits there, but you know, we got a lot of packs to go through. And a lot of bonding time for you and me. We're just opening packs. As God intended. Phyrexian Golem, that's always nice. You know, I run a Bernard deck that I think a deck tech comes out next week or the week after for my Bernard deck. So that one's really fun. Ghostfire Slice. Costs 2 less to cast if an opponent controls a multicolored permanent, deals 4 damage. Birthing Ritual. This card's pretty sick. I know the mythics are fire in this set, so at the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may sack a creature. If you do, you may put a creature card with mana value X or less from among those cards onto the battlefield, where X is 1 plus the sacked creature's mana value. Okay, so it's like a Birthing Pot effect, but for 2 mana? That's pretty neat. That seems like a pretty good card. When an Altasaur, Eldrazi Ravager. Annihilator 1, sack 2 Eldrazi, return Eldrazi Ravager from your graveyard to your hand. That's neat. Lion Umbra. I like the Umbras. You know, just give me more Umbras. Enchant modified creatures. That's an interesting stipulation to it. And it gets 3/3 reach and vigilance. Marionette Apprentice. Has Fabricate 1. And then one other creature artifact. Okay, cool. So it's like a tiny Marionette Master. That's pretty neat. Horrific Assault. Twisted Landscape. Dog Umbra. Dog Umbra's nice because it's an Umbra for you and a pacifism for your opponent. That's pretty cool. Drownyard Lurker. Love that guy. Cool. That was some neat stuff. Birthing Ritual seems nice, so we'll sleeve it up, you know. Got some nice katanas. Hoo-yah! Best feeling in all of Magic, baby. Just right now. Opening these packs. Got a blood token. Neat. Ooh. Foil one of these. Ooh, Emperor of Bones. This guy's pretty neat. I looked into him. I was hoping to pull something like him in the pre-release, but no, did not get him. But now I have him. He's pretty fun. Ooh, an Emerald Medallion. You know, kind of, it's alright. Make sure stuff costs 1 less. I like these dual lands. They're pretty fun. Until end of turn, double target creature's power and it gains first strike. I kept thinking it was going to say double strike, and my brain was just melting. Bestow. I like all the Merfolks. That'll be kind of fun. I'll have to look through all the Merfolk stuff and upgrade my Merfolk deck. Whenever you draw a second card each turn, create a spawn. That's cool. Little tiny Eldrazi. Trickster Elk. There's a so it's a thingy. It's the Kenrith transformation. Trickster Elk, right? Bestow 2. It's Aura Spell, enchant creature, and then, yeah, enchanted creature loses all its ability, becomes an elk. That's pretty cool. What's that? Wait, is that the one, Dad? Nightshade Dryad. Rose-Cut Knight. Maybe some night stuff in here. Conduit Goblin. I like all the energy stuff. You know, when ETBs you get energy, at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay an energy, and then it buffs your creatures. That's nice. Raven Charm. I always love modular stuff, so I'm a pretty big fan. Wither and Bloom. So this is it's a -3/-3 removal, and then it can also be exiled from your graveyard to put a +1/+1 counter on stuff. That could be pretty nice. Ether Spike. An energy-based counter spell. That's pretty crazy. What do we get? Ooh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Some cool art. Foil Forest. Raven Charm. It's because I talked about it. I should talk about other stuff. Flare of Denial. Ooh, that's a good hit. That's nice. You may sack a non-token blue creature counterspell. Super nice. Super good. Shil Gengar, Sire of Famine. Okay, flying sack another creature. Create a blood token. If you sacrificed an angel, create that number of blood tokens equal to its toughness. Pay 3, either white or black. Sack 6 blood tokens. Return each creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Then they're a vampire. That seems fun. That seems super fun. Like an angel demon deck? That could be cool. Kalia of the Vast. This lady. The angel demon dragon lady. Or maybe throw him into a deck like Kalia. I don't know. I never played Kalia. And then we got the flip creature who can, targets things. But here's another, we got this guy. Voltstorm Angel. Get 3 energy. Beginning of combat, you can pay 2 energy and you can buff it. You can give it Vigilance and Lifelink, or you can get +1/+1 till all other creatures get +1/+1. Reckless Pyro Surfer. Look at that dude. Just winging it in that art there. Having a great time. Having a blast. Nyxborn Hydra is crazy. That card is super nuts. Reach Trample, and then it's a crazy Bestow enchantment. Expanding Ooze for those black-green Ooze decks, out there. Electrozoa. Flash Flying, enters battlefield, okay. Per combat base. Oh. I mean, that's interesting. Got some decent rares. I like that flare. Where's that flare? I should probably sleeve that up. Blue flare. Any blue card. Blue is just too valuable to not. Let's pop this bad boy open here. Let's see what we got. Ooh, neat. Okay. Ooh, Crom the Undertaker. Okay. Undertaker gets +X/+O, where X is the greatest power among creature cards in all graveyards. When he attacks, each player mills a card. During each of your turns, you may play a land and cast a spell among cards and graveyards that are put there from libraries this turn. That seems cool. That seems fun. And it's Jund. So Jund is great. Love Jund. Aether Revolt. This thing's got a paragraph of text. It seems pretty fun. I don't know what the uses of it would be, but, I'll have to read through stuff later and kind of check it out. Create X 4/4 angel tokens with flying. Nice little angel card. And then you can cycle it. You may pay X, and then, you can make tokens instead. That's kind of cool. Waterlogged Teachings. This is one of the other ones. That is dual land. Ooh, Null Elemental Blast. This one's super fun. Counter target multicolor spell. Or destroy target multicolored permanent. That's a pretty good card. Pretty fun one. Ajani Fells the Godsire. Okay. Exile target creature an opponent controls. Oh, and it's good exile. So it doesn't bring it back, right? Yeah. You just exile it. That's awesome. And then you make a 2/1 cat. And then put a vigilance counter on a creature you control. Target creature you control gains double strike. That's pretty fun. Royal Cartographer. This is another energy payoff. You pay 6 energy, you draw 3 cards. It's also part of the dimmer strategy of drawing 3 cards and getting benefits from doing that. That's pretty cool. Bountiful Landscape. That's fun. Evolution Witness. This guy's nuts. I think he's pretty cool. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on him, return target permanent from your graveyard to your hand. So it's like an EWIT, but you can, it can adapt itself to do it. It doesn't do it when ETBs, so that's kind of like the difference, but it has recursion, where if you have a +1/+1 strategy, it could be good. Snapping Voidcraw. This guy's cool. He draws cards, makes energy. Solstice Zealot. Enters the battlefield, you gain stuff. You can pay energy to tap things. Cool. And then these weren't our rares. They were just cards I set aside. So we'll put those over here. Over here. Pop this bad boy open. More spawns. We love spawns. I like this island. I think it's pretty. Worn Power Stone. That's cool. I like the foil on that one. Rawl Monsoon Mage. I can read, Instant and sorceries cost 1 less. Whenever you cast instant sorcery, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, he deals 1 damage to you. If you win the flip, you may exile Rawl. If you do, return him transformed. Okay. And when he enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty count on it for each instant sorcery you've cast this turn. That's kind of cool. And then until your next turn, instant or sorceries cost 1 less. So he has his front side ability. -2, deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Draw a card if you control a blue permanent other than him. And then -8 here. Exile the top 8 cards of your library. You may cast instant or sorceries without paying their mana cost. That's pretty fun. It's a pretty interesting Planeswalker. Cephalid Coliseum. Super happy to see this get a reprint. It's fun. You make blue, deal damage to yourself. You can sacrifice it. Target player draws 3 cards and discards 2 cards. Activate only if you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard. That's just a good card. I'm going to put it in the rare pile just because I have spots that I want to put Cephalid. Essence Reliquary, that's pretty neat. It's a, protection, I guess. Return another permanent you control and all auras attached to it to its owner's hand. But it can also, it's just fun. It's just a neat little guy. Wormcoil Larva. Death Touch Lifelink when it dies, so it's like a tiny little baby Wormcoil. That's pretty fun. Signature Slam. Put a plus one counter on target creature you control. Then each modified creature deals damage. That's pretty fun. Cranial Ram. It's like a cranial plating, right? But it's red now. Well, it has red additional. That's pretty fun. And it has Living Weapon, which is cool. Living Weapon's fun. This is better Fleshbag Marauder. That thing was fun to play. Gravedigg. Let's see what we got in here. Art card. Ooh, it's the stamp. It's the stamp one. That's pretty fun. That's cool. I like those. Sage of the Unknown. Oh, baby. It's a Null Drifter. It's Eldrazi, baby. Look at that. I love it. I love this card. It's so fun. Hey, Shrieking Drake. This card is Combo City, baby. Enters the battlefield, return target creature, or return a creature you control to its owner's hand. I think most of the combos you just keep bouncing Shrieking Drake because it costs 1 mana. That's pretty nuts. That's a nuts card. Razorgrash Ambush deals 3 damage, and it's also planes. That's kind of fun. Phyrexian Ironworks. Whenever you tap, gain an energy, pay 3 energy, create a Golem. Static Prison. Exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls. Oh, that's neat. And then you gain 2 energy. And then you have to sack it unless you keep paying energy. Okay, that's pretty neat. Inspired Inventor. I like that guy. Some energy, or he has a lot of flexibility in what you might want to do with him. Let's move these guys over here. Pop them open. Pop it open. Gremlin Token. Love that guy. He's so cool. Mountain. Grim Servant. I think this guy will go into a lot of different things. Like Arami seems cool. Enters the battlefield, search your library for a card with mana value equal to or less than your devotion to black. Reveal it, shuffle it, you lose 3 life. That's pretty good. Ooh, baby. It's another Polluted Delta. That is some sick stuff. And a Kirk. I don't know. Something. But, I've never had any intention to build this guy. He seems very, very strong. And, like combo-y. And I already have some pretty strong stuff. Strength of the Harvest. I actually wanted this for one of my enchantment decks. It's a land, and then it also has the ability of enchant creature. It gets +1/+1 for each creature and or enchantment you control. That seems incredibly strong. Vexing Bauble. This is it's that cool part of Boromir. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter it. It can really mess some stuff up, and it's just card draw. So I could see some value in running that, especially in Commander or other formats where there's a lot of free stuff going on. Emissary of the Soulfire. He enters play, you gain energy, you can pay energy to put an Exalted counter on him. Oh, on a creature you control. That's pretty fun. They get +1/+1. That's cool. Oh, so it's Exalted. That's neat. Perilous Landscape, Wing It. Eldrazi Repurposer, Contaminated Landscape, Drowned Lurker. Cool. Some more commons. Let's put this Deceptive Landscape finally. Put it away. I was like, it's funny. It's just like the blue on the upper right of the playmat is just so dark. But it's not like a shadow. Just dark. Dark stuff. Or is it a shadow? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Seems fine to me. Woo. Got this. Ooh. A Cursed Marauder. I like that guy. Dog. We got the dog. Dog is a win. Dog win. He's a flash dog. When he attacks, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent. At the beginning of the next end step, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it under my control, put +1/+1 counter on my dog. Ooh, got a Breya. That's pretty cool. Breya is another one like Crick and those ones where pretty OG, very, very strong, but I love the art. It's so, so nice. Ooh, Solitude. Ooh, special guest Solitude. That's a good one. That's a good pull, man. That's nice. If you don't know, Solitude's busted as hell. Flash, lifelink, but it's in here for it's just evoke. Exile a white card from your hand. When ETBs, exile up to 1 other target creature, and then they gain life equal to its power. And there's so many things that can go with this evoke strategy. Super, super powerful. So, super happy to see that. Let's get on to the rest of the stuff. The Hunger Tide Rises. This is pretty fun. I have a Saga deck, so I always like to look at any of the sagas. This one just makes tokens, which making tokens is always good. Sack any number of creatures, search your library and or graveyard for a creature card with mana value equal to mana value less than, or equal to the number of creatures sacked. Put it into play. This seems like a good saga. Love this card. This thing's super fun. Devoid Flash. It's Mana Tithe. Mana Tithe is so fun. If you get people with Mana Tithe, you can retire the deck. It's good. It's just so funny. Still haven't gotten anybody with the Mana Tithe in my Life Drain deck, but it's done everything else I wanted it to do. Bring people to 1, and then, you know, sack them. Hey, it's the 1, but it's not stamped. Maybe use that as a token for something. I don't know. I love the islands. Or not the islands. I love these full art lands. When you see, like, the Eldrazi in the background, it's super cool. Super cool stuff. Ooh, foil Buried Alive. We take that. Spymaster's Vault. Enters the battlefield, tapped unless you control a swamp, makes black, pay a black, target creature you control connives X, where X is the number of creatures that died. That's kind of cool. Hey, another Shrieking Drake. That's a good card. I mean, I can use more of it, I guess. I like this guy because he's a 1/1 flying artifact creature, so there's lots of stuff he could do. He can only block creatures with flying, but, you know, whatever. Breaker of Creation, hexproof from colors. Consuming Corruption, I really like this in like any deck that's going to be swamp heavy. Super fun. And then we got our Kite, another Ewit, this guy, another Energy Boy. Love the energy strategy. He's gonna have to take another look at Liberty Prime. Maybe put a deck list up for that if I can make it. If I can make the energy theme work to a certain extent. Servo. Ooh, another foily one of these. Ooh, Ashling Flame Dancer. This guy's pretty nuts. I think he's pretty fun. You know, you don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. And then whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, discard a card, draw a card. If it's a second time resolved, it deals 2 damage to each opponent, and each creature they control. And if it's the third time, you gain 4 red. So he can be pretty good. Eldrazi Linebreaker. Trample. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains haste and X+0, where X is the number of Eldrazi you control. That could be fun. Hey, Ruby Medallion. It's actually the only medallion I didn't have. So that's a good one. Draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards unless you pay 2 energy. That's nice. Just a nice little draw card and land if you need it. Ghostfire Slice, Depth Defiler. If it was kicked, you can choose one, huh? Return target creature or target player draws 2, discards 2. That's kind of fun. Sneaky Snacker. I just like the art for Sneaky Snacker. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting. Just eating food. Eating food, having fun. Mixborn Unicorn, Hydra, Curse Marauder. Cool. That's good stuff. That's some really cool stuff. Food. Ooh, that's a good food. It's a good food token. Ooh, Foil Island. That's what we're here for. Slow Transformer. You get energy. Then you can pay, and then it's just a rock. That's kind of nice. Ooh, Heragast, Erupting Nullkite. This guy looked super sick. I was really happy to see this guy. Look at that guy. He has a merge. When you cast a spell, exile your hand if you do, draw 3 cards. And then for each creature spell you cast has a merge, and the merge cost is equal to their mana. So a merge is pretty fun. It lets you cast a spell. You can stack creatures to kind of supplement their mana value. Yeah. You may cast this spell by sacrificing a creature and paying the mana cost reduced by that creature's mana value. So it can be pretty fun. Pretty strong stuff. Reefworm. Reefworm's pretty fun. That's good in any like blue sack deck or anything like that. It's super interesting. Idol of False Gods. Create a 1/1 as you make an Eldrazi token. Other Eldrazi you control dies. Put a counter on it. When it has 8 or more counters, it becomes an Eldrazi. That's pretty fun. Depth Defiler. Scurry of Gremlins. I know this is an energy card. So that could be fun. Some energy boys. Siege Smash. That's neat. Split Second. Haven't seen that in a minute. Choose 1. Destroy target artifact or target creature gains +3/+2. That's fun. Maybe in Riku. I don't know. Seems pretty specific for my Riku deck. But I always like to look at anything that has like modals or like different modes. Ooh, another stamp. That's cool. I like the stamp cards. You know, they're fun. They're fun to have. Twisted Landscape. Strict Serenade. Counter target artifact, creature, or planeswalker spell. Its controller gains... Oh, so it's like the opposite of Swansong. I still think Swansong's better, but this is interesting to be able to counter creatures and artifacts and planeswalkers, so that's still nice. This card, I think, is going to be good, right? You know, it's 2 mana, it's an artifact, so there's lots of synergies with that. And then it enters play with oil, and then when 2 or more creatures attack, you put an oil counter on it. You remove 2, and you just exile another target non-land permanent, but they draw 2 cards, so I don't know. Meltdown is always good. That's a good card, right? Meltdown's fun. It's always been fun. Dual land guy. Collective Resistance. This could be good to... I think this is what you put for sure in a Riku deck. Because, I mean, this has a lot of really good flexibility to it. Foreboding Landscape. A lot of other commons we've seen. I loved this card in limited. I kept using it on, you know, anything that would die. Anything that had a scary die effect. You're just like, no, now it's nothing. Now it has no effects. Now it's just garbage like the rest of us. It was Spirit. Ooh, look at that swamp. Crabomination. Now it's got to merge from artifact, and then when it enters the battlefield, you get the opponent exiles at random from a card from their hand, card from their graveyard, and the top card of their deck. So that's fun. Ooh, Tamiyo! Tamiyo's a hit. When Tamiyo attacks, investigate, and when you draw your third card, you flip Tamiyo. And then she has a +2 until the end of turn when a creature attacks you or a Planeswalker control. -1/-0. -3, return target instant or sorcery to your hand. If it's a green, add a mana of any color. -7, draw cards equal to half the number of cards in your library rounded up, and you get an emblem with no max hand size. That's dope. That's cool stuff. I like Tamiyo. Nadir's Nightblade, classic card. Ooh, this is a elf that's a land. That's cool. Enters the battlefield, you may sack another creature. If you do, you gain X life and draw X cards, where X is that creature's power. That's good. Charitable Levy, this one was fun. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast, so it's a little bit of tax in the early, and then when it gets 3 counters on it, you may, No, you sacrifice it. And then when you do, you can search your library for a planes, and you draw a card. So that's nice. Furnace Hellkite, just a nice little guy. Path of Annihilation. This is a good card for those big swingy decks, because it makes tokens, and then Eldrazi just have tap for any color. And then when you cast a creature spell with mana 7 or greater, you gain 4 life, which incremental life gain. I'll say it time and time again. It really can just swing some games, man. It's fun. It's good stuff. Woo! I was tipping some stuff. I just got a big pile of sleeves, or not sleeves, of stuff over there. Look at this bird. Look at this owl. Took me a second to realize what was even going on. Planes. We got our Riddlegate Gargoyle. Party Thrasher is a 2 lizard wizard. That was fun. Non-creature spells from exile have Convoke. And at the beginning of your pre-combat main, you can discard a card. If you do, exile the top 2 cards. You may play that card this turn. That's cool. Choose one of them. Hey, a Pearl Medallion. We almost have the whole set. We're going through it. What do we need Jet and Sapphire now. That's pretty funny. Indebted Spirit. Hydra Trainer. Attacks. Target creature gets +X/+X, where X is the number of counters on permanents you control. That could be fun. There's a lot of really good stuff to pull from this set to put into other decks and supplement things, and just it's a really powerful set. Ooh. If I could, I've opened packs my whole life. I swear. I like this Spirit token. I like that guy. We'll set him up here. Ooh, Nyxborn Hydra. I like the foil of that. That's pretty cool. Thodian Nightmare. Not really sure what you're supposed to do with this. You get 3 energy. It's in black, though. And you pay X and an energy, and you sack a creature. Return this to your owner's hand, and return target creature with mana value X less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's kind of recursion. It's interesting. I'll have to look at that in a little bit greater detail. Priest of Titania. This is a great card. Love that. Put it over there, because I have an elf deck. It'll go right into that. Drowner of Truth. Creation of Avacyn. This was super funny. I splashed black into my Eldrazi deck, and I wanted to... The main goal of this was to try and turn 3, search for Emrakul, and then just do it. Just to get Emrakul out. Have some fun with that. Outlast. Modified creatures have lifelink. That's pretty strong. Whenever you sack a non-token permanent, make a little guy. That's fun. Nightshade, Cyclops, Expel, Sage the Ennoble. A lot of other stuff that we've seen already. Typically only going to pause on things that are really good, or maybe some just stuff that I haven't seen or we haven't seen in the video yet. A Germ token, always useful, especially all the living weapons stuff that's coming out. Wastscape Battle Mage, love it. Ooh, Devourer of Destiny, 7 mana, 6/6. You may reveal this card in your opening hand. If you do, at the beginning of your first upkeep, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may put one of those cards back, exile the rest. When you cast a spell, exile target permanent that's 1 or more colors. Okay. I'll have to look into that. I'm not super sure what I'm going to do with that. I like this. It's removal and a land. And it's Planeswalker removal, so that's pretty nice. It's always also good to get more deep analysis. There's a lot of decks that I like that card in. In Kozilek's Unsealing, whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 4, 5, or 6, create 2 spawn. And when you cast a spell with 7, draw 3 cards. That's nice. Territory Color is a landfall. When a land ETBs, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature, you reveal it, put it in your hand. If you don't, put it in your graveyard. Well, you may put it in your graveyard. That's nice. And then, ooh, I love this card. Colossal Dreadmask. It's a Dreadmaw, baby. It's a Dreadmaw. Colossal Dreadmaw. I don't know why my camera keeps focusing and unfocusing. It's funny that way. It just does stuff. It has a mind of its own. Celestic Zealot, utter insignificance, draws claw, and then that paragraph, Glimpse the Impossible. Glimpse the Impossible is referring to the amount of words on that card. Whoop! Ooh, a Mandibular Kite. Nice little living weapon guy. Primal Prayers. When Primal Prayers ETBs, you get 2 energy. You may cast creature spells with mana value 3 or less by paying energy rather than paying their mana cost. And you can cast them as though they had flash if you cast them that way. That's interesting. Fledgling Dragon. Ooh, okay. Kaith Famed Mechanist, whatever. Fabricate 1. Other non-token creatures you control have Fabricate 1. Pay 2. Choose 1. Populate or Proliferate. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. That could be fun. Another Null Elemental Blast. It's a good card. Solar Transformer, Malevolent Rumble, Sneaky Snacker. Got some more commons here. Nice. Whoop. Got our little pile of rares. It's a good problem to have, you know? Servo Token. Demon Inferior. 1 less card for each card you draw on. And then, yeah, it lets you put something at the second at the top. Ooh, this guy. This bird guy. He's good. He's a good bird. Creatures you control have whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. And then if it's a land, it does cool stuff. So that's always fun. And it can trigger twice each turn, which is good, right? Like, that's cool. Put that over here. Victimize. Always good to have another Victimize. This one's good because it's a dual land. Any of these dual land cards are just value, right? MDFCs, I'm a big fan. And then it also is indestructible. It's an indestructible protection card, so that's nice. Whoop, put that like that. Rawl and the Implicit Maze. Okay. This one's pretty fun. So, Rawl, Implicit Maze, deals 2 damage to each creature. Okay. You may discard a card if you do. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play them. And then create a Spellgorger, Weird token. It's a 3-mana 2/2 Weird. With whenever you cast a non-creature spell, pull +1/+1 counter on him. How odd. How odd. How odd and strange. That's a good one. I like that. Oh, this guy's good. It's crazy we've barely seen it. But essentially, when another non-token creature ETBs, you proliferate, which that's super fun. Brain Surge, draw 4 cards, then put 2 from your hand on top in any order. Instant speed, that's nice. Landscape. Horrific Assault is a nice one. It's a fight spell. It just makes your... Well, it's not a fight. It's a bite. Makes your creature deal damage to other creature. If you control an Eldrazi, you gain 3 life. Pretty fun. Lots of Eldrazi. Lots of Eldrazi. Woohoo! Diving deep. Ooh, Fox, look at that. That's nice. That's a nice little token. I like the Fox. Swamp. Swamp. Cyclops Superconductor. And this is a good energy guy, so happy he's a foil. That's cool. He TVs, you gain 3 energy, and then when he dies, you can pay 3 energy, and he deals damage equal to his power to any target. Psychic Frog! When he deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card. Discard a card, make him stronger. Exile 3 cards from your graveyard. He gains flying. Branching Evolution, solid. You know, if you make a +1/+1 counter, put twice that many. Witch Enchanter, seen this one, land. If you would gain 1 or more energy, you gain that many +1. That's cool. Draw a card, activate only if you've lost, or paid or lost 4 more energy. That's neat. That's pretty cool. I like this guy, Cursed Wombat. Whenever permanents you have, or you control have, whenever you would put a counter, a +1/+1 on it, put an additional. Only triggers once each turn. But he's nice. I like the eyes. It's very cartoony on Foul Strike. Cranial Ram. I like this dude. There's some fun stuff. Ooh, what's this? Haste. 1/1 for 1. Pay 4. Deals 4 damage. That's cool. That's neat. Neat stuff. A lot of really neat stuff. Art. Ooh, look at that. That's cool. Hey, foil Path of Annihilation. That's always interesting. Thief of Existence. This guy, he's devoid. And then whenever you cast this spell, exile up to 1 target non-creature, non-land. An opponent controls with mana value 4 or less. If you do, Thief of Existence gains. When this creature leaves the battlefield, target opponent draws a card. That's cool. A little bit of removal. Angel of the Ruins. Exiling effect. Waterlogged is nice. You know, search your library for an instant. Or a card with flash. Put it in your hand. It's 4 mana though, so I don't know. There's 4 mana tutors that do a lot more, but that one is also a land. Hey, Golden Tail Trainer. This guy's nuts, man. Or an equipment cost X less, where X is his power. And then whenever he attacks, other modified creatures gain +X, where X is his power. Crazy card. Crazy, crazy card. Hey, it's the dog. Love this dog. It's a 3/3 for 2. It's like a faithful watchdog. Reminds me a lot of that Watch Wolf. Definitely some callback, I would imagine. You know, don't want to assume, but it seems like what that's for. Oh, always hoping for the stamp. This is nice, just because I like the foil on these. Look at that. Pretty, pretty. Hey, ooh, it's an old border. The old border colorless is so strange to me. It looks naked. Looks like a naked card. But we got one. Barbarian Ring. Time to fight, baby. You stack, yeah. I think it's in the same line as Cephalid Coliseum, right? You sack it, deals 2 damage to any target, activate only 7 or more cards in your graveyard. Pinnacle Monk. Okay, he's a prowess monk. He ETBs, return target instant or sorcery. That's fun. He costs 5 though for a 2/2. Urza's Cave. Crazy card, man. Just search for a land card, put it into play. That's nuts. This is a rare for me. Like, that's going over there. Amped Raptor. So, you know, dinosaur, makes energy. Then, if you cast it from your hand, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. And you can pay energy instead of its mana. Tameo meets the Story Circle. Boom, boom, boom. And there's a bunch of stuff that we pulled already. Moving this stack over here. We're moving through them. Moving through them. Insect token. Oh, yeah, baby. Foil Mountain. Foil Full Art Mountain. Ooh, Gift of the Viper. That's nice. That's nice. Springheart Nantuko. This card is... I heard good stuff about this. It's got Bestow. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. And then Landfall. Whenever a land ETBs under your control, you may pay 2. And then if it's attached to a creature you control, if you do, create a creature... Or create a token that's a copy of that creature. If you didn't create a token this way, create an insect token. Hey, they go hand in hand, man. Meteoric Mace. I like this. It's the Frog and Mirror Enforcer, Frogmite or whatever. That's fun. Titan's Vanguard. This guy's nuts if you can pull that, man. Especially in like a pre-release. He's super good in the Eldrazi deck. It's great. You cast this spell, and whenever he attacks, you get +1/+1 on each colorless creature you control. And he has Trample. And he's a 5/5 for 5, so he's evenly costed too. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Whoop, whoop. See what we get. Ooh, that's pretty though. Not an art card. I mean, not a stamp card. Consuming Corruption. Happy you got this in foil. That's nice. You're definitely going to use it. Rasheen Roaring Prophet. When he ETBs, mill 6 cards. You put a card with X in its mana cost from among them in your hand. Reveal any number of cards with X and their mana cost from your hand and add 2 for each card revealed this way. Spend this only to cost a card containing X. That seems pretty strong. That seems like it can go in a lot of... That seems got some decent build potential. Ooh, I like Planar Genesis. You look at the top 4 cards, and then you pick a... If you get a land, put it into play tapped. And then if you don't, you can just put a card from among them in your hand. Rest on the bottom. It's like a super growth spiral, kind of. It's nice. I really enjoy it. I think it's a very good card. I think it's a very good card. I do. Dang. Mountain. Wither and Bloom. Monumental Henge. This thing is the first... Oh, no, we got the black one, right? This one is pay 4. Look at the top 5 cards and reveal a historic card. Put it into your hand. Rest in the bottom. That's still nice. It's got its uses. Decree of Justice, Vexing Bauble, Signature Slam, Nightshade Dryad. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy in there. Like how, you know, we got our bonding in the beginning. And now we just get to kind of speed through some of these. I know I open packs like a raccoon, but, you know, I just want the goodies inside. I don't really want to wait. Hey, the Necrobloom! I know a lot of people want to build this bad boy. You know, the foil kind of throws off everything, but essentially what Necrobloom does is it's a 4 mana. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 0/1 plant, and then if you control 7 or more lands with different names, create a 2/2 zombie. Land cards in your graveyard have dredge, too. That's pretty crazy. This card's pretty nuts. Kozilek's Command! Choose 2. Target player creates X/01 colorless Eldrazi spawn. Target player scries X and draws a card. Exile target creature with mana value X or less. Exile up to X cards from target player's graveyard. That's cool. That's interesting. A colorless command. Stump Stomp. Target creature deals damage equal to its power, and it's a land. It's a double land. Mog Mob. It's a bunch of Mog fanatics. Oh, this guy. That guy's good. Got a lot of dogs. That's pretty nice. Get all them doggies. Whoop. More card. Island. Oh, look at this guy. Oozewag. He's a Brushwag. Modified creatures have trample. That's pretty cool. And he can make himself modified, so that's nice. Hey, it's an old border Psychic Frog. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Whoop. Psychic Frog. We got Toxic Deluge. It's always good to have more of that. Sundering Eruption. Destroy target land. Its controller may search the library for a basic land. Put on the battlefield tapped. Creatures with flying can't block this turn. And it's a land. I don't really know. Consign to Memory has Replicate 1. Counter target triggered ability or colorless spell. That's pretty fun. I love triggered ability counters or like stifle effects. Some of my favorite gotcha cards. You know, those are just good stuff. It's just good stuff. It's a good time, it's a fun time, it's a fast time. It's whatever we want. Ooh, that's cool. Bam. Got that guy. Ooh, Bloodstained Mire, baby. That's some fire. I love the fetch lands. Good stuff. Good stuff. Wrath of the Skies, huh? You get X energy. Then you may pay any amount of energy. Destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with mana value less than or equal to the amount of energy paid. Okay. That's kind of cool. Hey, another Priest of Titania. That card's just good. I like Priest of Titania. Unstable Amulets. You get energy. And then when you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, Unstable Amulet deals 1 damage to each opponent. That's cool. This has some pretty good value in some other styles of decks. Anything where you're casting from exile or doing spooky stuff like that, you can get some pretty good value there. If I were to build Kirk, though, or Kirk, whatever his name is, I'm going to call him Kirk. Dang, I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's a frog. It's a frog thing. Tameo. Hey, Fanatic of Ronus. This card's a crazy mana dork, man. He just a 2. First of all, he's a 2 costing 1/4 that can tap for 1. And then add 4 mana. Activate only if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. Pretty easy, especially because you can eternalize him. Nuts. Hey, another Meltdown. That's just good to have. Artifacts are strong, so it's good to have stuff to get rid of them. Marionette Apprentice, Colossal Dreadmask. A lot of stuff we've seen. Only got these 3. Only these 3 more. We'll see what we get. Hey, a Snake! Because I know Theomancer got reprinted. Hey, it's Glimpse the Impossible. Since it's foil, should we try and read the Impossible? Exile top 3 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. At the beginning of your next end step, if any of those cards remain exiled, put them into your graveyard, and then you create a 0/1 Eldrazi spawn for each card put into your graveyard this way. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Happy we read it. Hey, dude, Flooded Strand. Fetch lands, baby. They strong. They good. They big. They boys. I like the Cephalid Coliseum. It's a good card. Just extra card draw, you know. And in Commander, paying 1 life really doesn't hurt that much. Especially because eventually you're just going to pay the 1 blue to sacrifice it to draw 3 or discard 3. A lot of synergies that it can go into. Hey, a Moonfolk token. That's interesting. Wonder if we'll get anything in this pack that needs it, huh? Hey, a Windswept Heath. Hell yeah, boy. And Savine's Reclamation. Savine's Reclamation is always good, you know? I mean, I'm happy to just be pulling fetches, but it's still cool. It's still cool to get a Savine's Reclamation. I like that card. Legion's Leadership. It That Heralds the End. Heralds the End. It's a 2-mana 2/2. Colorless spells with mana value 7 or greater cost 1 less to cast, and they get +1/+1. That's a nice little guy. Cursed Wombat. Propagator Drone. Creatures you have evolve, or creature tokens have evolved. That's cool. And then you can pay 3 and make tokens. That's nice. And then we got these kites. Got a lot of these guys. Got that stuff. Nice. Alright, last pack. Gotta open it upside down. It's the rules. And look how clean it was. You see how clean that was? And we got a rat. Looks like a, look at that rat. That's a nice little rat. Got a foil Ether Spike. Detective's Phoenix. Bestow, collect evidence 6, flying and haste. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2, has flying and haste, and you can cast Detective from your graveyard with its Bestow ability. That's pretty cool. Got a Buried Alive. Fell from the Profane. Etched Stitch. Furnace Hellkite, Static Prison, Foul Strike, Conduit Goblin. A lot of stuff we've already seen before. But yeah. So, that was all for our Modern Masters, or not Modern Masters, for our Modern Horizons 3 box. All in all, I think we got some pretty good hits, you know? We got lots of fetch lands. I mean, just so many. We got this guy, Harold Aronis, probably put him in the sleeve. But just a lot of usable stuff. I mean, that's basically a fetch, dude. Urza's Cave is just nuts. It's some strong, strong stuff. Got a lot of the Planeswalkers. I don't know why Twisted Landscape is in there. It just found its way home. It's like, this is where I belong. We got the Special Guest Solitude, which is crazy. We did pull 2 Polluted Deltas. We got the Flare of Denial, and one of our Polluted Deltas right in the beginning was foil. So I mean, this alone was pretty valuable just to get 5 fetches. That's pretty good, and 3 of them blue and 1 black, and 3 black really. But yeah. That's pretty much wrapping it up for this. I'm going to go build some decks so you guys can watch those too. But outside that, I hope you enjoyed this and have a great weekend. All right, bye.